How you moving? We celebrating. Cavs get a big-time win at home, tie the series with the Detroit Pistons 2-2. And we going back to Detroit. We pumped up, but JB Bickerstaff is hating. I told you he already jockeying, McNuggets. He already jockeying.
Yeah, he was quite mad with the free throw discrepancy in Game 4. Donovan Mitchell took 15 free throws by himself. The Pistons as a team took 12. This is JB Bickerstaff after the loss yesterday.
But, ever since we came to Cleveland, the whistle has changed. There's no way that one guy on their team shoots more free throws than our team. We're not a settle team. We're not a jump shooting team. We drive the ball, attack the paint. So what was done out there tonight, it's frustrating. But, we can't allow that to be the reason why, because we didn't play well enough and play to the best of our capabilities. But again, you look at the foul count, you look at the disparity, and that's hard to overcome. And you wonder, the reason why. It's interesting, since Kenny made his comments publicly about, us, the whistle's changed in this series.
My man's out here just handing money to NBA charities.
Hey,
just handing money out.
I said, now, listen, I didn't know you could just get that off now. Is that a thing? I said, did they change the rules? I thought that was $25,000.
Oh, it will be.
Okay.
And he knew it when he said it, and he don't care.
Man, listen, is he still on the payroll from Dan too?
I don't. They
so.
stretch probably. Yeah, probably, because he had gotten an extension, and they put stretch clauses in there after guys get fired. They stretch their money out over 90
Hey,
days.
man, look, man, listen. He got that double salary. He got that two-family income. He good on that, Zach. He going to let that ride.
I was not surprised, right? It's a tactic. He knows exactly what he's doing, and Jason said he doesn't care about the money. So everybody here in Cleveland is going to roll their eyes at it. I think everybody objectively is going to roll their eyes at it. The Cavs are better attacking the basket right now. The Pistons on offense are kind of broken. Durant's disappeared. The Cavs are begging Thompson to shoot. Who's attacking the basket for them? So we saw vintage Donovan Mitchell. We did see him get to the line. That's part of his game. It's always been part of James Harden's game. So I think he's just countering it. And when I woke up to that this morning, I gave a quick chuckle, but I said, of course, that's his next strategy move as the series heads back to Detroit.
And by the way, we got on the Cavs about this. The Cavs in the first two games, Donovan Mitchell especially, Detroit was doing a good job of taking charges when Donovan Mitchell or James Harden was driving to the basket, and Donovan was taking a lot of contested threes, a lot of shots. Now, some of those shots he took in game 4 went down. So, okay, that worked. But he was more aggressive getting to the basket, and I think if you look at the Pistons and why they were at home, they got all the whistles in Game 1 and Game 2. That's just the way the game worked.
Real quick, my ADD has kicked in. Now I'm thinking about fines and everything. Mm-hmm. I had a conversation with Byron Scott when he was the coach here one time, went after the officials and got fined, and he knew he was going to get fined. He didn't care. It was the standard 25. And he said the league takes the money out of your check, I think they break it up over 2 checks. And his wife was so mad at him. Because that money's it's gone. You don't get to write a check or send it in the mail when you see fit. You don't have it's not like a credit card bill. We're paid this. No, they just take it right out of your check.
Bro, that has to be demoralizing.
So now you got to go home and answer to the wife why you lost $25K.
That's crazy. I mean,
and he hasn't been fined yet, but he will be.
That. Yeah, I would always say, would you have to have a conversation? If we all, say for instance, we do opinion shows. And what if in our opinion shows we got fined for what we said?
I would be divorced.
Would your wife say, would she look at you and be like, hey bro, that ain't it? Would she literally, mine would definitely say something.
I'm married to an Italian from New Jersey. What do you think would happen to me if I started getting fined for
my gosh, that's devastating. But look, I think you look at this game, and the thing that I like about this was, for the first time, even though they were down a half, I thought the Cavs made the first move to land the first blow. And they let it be known what type of time they was going to be on. You look at Evan Mobley, and for me, and I get it, if you are the defensive player of the year, they talking about defense, right? And the Pistons being, and the Thompson, he's I'm like, Evan Mobley is a former Defensive Player of the Year. Under no circumstances should he not be the best defensive player on the floor. But am I crazy in that?
No.
Shouldn't I expect him to be the ultimate? And you know what?
And he was last night.
And last night it was one of the first times in a long time you saw his impact at the rim, on the perimeter, ball pressure, all of that type stuff. And I think that was the tone that set it in the third quarter, guys.
Now I do think I won't be surprised if the whistle flips again in Detroit after giving some of the comments.
Oh, yeah.
And it worked once when Donovan and Kenny both sort of made mention of it. And they got this is how it works in the NBA. I've never understood it. I've covered this league a long time. Guys speak up and chirp up, and then they get the calls. And now JB's speaking up and chirping, and he'll probably get the calls now. So we'll see how Game 5 plays out. I started to count up the number of shots the Pistons got at the rim, and not even in the lane, in the restricted area. It was a high amount of calls for getting to the free throw line as few times as they did. So I do think that there's probably some merit to what JB was talking about, and we all know JB loves to ride the officials. I said yesterday he puts a saddle on them at the tip,
man,
and he don't get off until the buzzer.
That's crazy. That's why it works.
He loves to yell at officials.
Should we just buckle in and be ready for Game 7 Sunday? It's home again.
I think I get the optimism, and I get like they played great. You think, okay, they've solved all their problems. They have not shown all year to be a team that has figured out how to play at a high level consistently. So yeah, I think this is probably going 7. Like I didn't think they were going to win last night when I sat down. I just had a bad feeling about it. I was wrong. They won. I think we're going 7. Yeah, you were right.
I think if you want to play 4-dimensional chess here, Kenny, here's what you do. Now listen, you got to get the preemptive 25. See, what you should do is, after his press conference, he says, okay, well, I don't understand how Donovan is getting all more free throw shots than the whole team. We go to the rack, too. I'm confused why it changed. Then Kenny comes up and pulls up and says, well, listen, I'm just confused because them the same calls you was getting in Detroit. Now, listen, what I would like to do is I would like to see both teams be a little even. Like, if they're going to let us play, let us play. If they're going to be, we just want to call balls and strikes the same way. Get your 25 out the way. And then now the 25 cancel each other out. Now they're like, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, we just going to let them play tough.
So it's all canceled out. Just like it's 2-2 in the series. Zach, it is now a best of 3 between the 1-seeded Pistons and the 4-seeded Cavaliers. After Cleveland's now won 2 in a row, but they have to win one in Detroit. Which side do you think has, quote-unquote, control of the series moving forward?
Well, I don't think anybody has control. I think the Cavs have momentum. And it's obviously the history that Donovan made and the electricity he brought to the building. But I was just super impressed by the way Harden and Mobley played almost all night. Neither one of them tried to do too much. Both delivered in clutch moments. James Harden playing defense in the first half. He was all over the place. And we saw the kind of assertive Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley is never going to be Shaq and push people through the lane and carry 3 people on his back. But you said it, G. Covering different people, blocking shots, altering shots, not being afraid to chase people out, not being afraid to occasionally shoot a 3. Like, we just have seen the best version of Evan Mobley ever since we saw the worst version of Evan Mobley in Game 2. So for the Cavs to have control, take control, keep control, whatever you want to say, the 2 of the next 3 games, preferably the next 2, have to be really good Evan Mobley games again.
So this will answer your question. Who has control of the series? Who do you think is the best player in this series today?
Right now?
Right now.
Donovan Mitchell.
I agree.
Okay. So if Donovan Mitchell is the best player in this series, right, and you take a look at what the Cavs have, they got another dude that can technically give you 25 or 30. I would say James Harden. Now, Tobias Harris has been playing great, but I would say James Harden is the best 2 guy. So you got the best player, and then you got the best 1A. And then
Mobley significantly outplayed Jalen Duren in this game.
So now you got the best third guy. So if you look at it, the Cavs have more people that have the ability to show up and affect the game.
Oh, the talent, it's always been the Cavs are the more talented team. I don't think that's ever been in question. It's can they put it together? Can they play at a consistent level, high? Can they take care of the basketball? Can they crash the glass and limit Detroit's second and third looks? It's never been about talent. The Cavs have always been, I think, the more talented team in this series. They just haven't always played like it.
I think they've really been able to highlight the limitations that Duran and Thompson have. They're both really good players.
Thompson was Mike. What was Thompson? He was a minus 31 and late in the fourth.
I think
quarter.
he finished as a minus 27, and he got benched in the second half. And one of the things that is worth mentioning.
What?
Yeah, I'll pull up the
Minus
exact number right now.
27?
He was a minus 31 in 12 minutes in the first half yesterday.
It's nasty.
The end of the game, he ended up as I believe it was a minus 27, but I will confirm for you right now. Yeah, he was minus 27 in 19 minutes. JB went away from him in the second half. Tobias had that crazy first half, right? Went crazy. Looked like Kevin Durant. In the second half with Thompson on the bench, Evan Mobley guarded Tobias Harris. You know what Tobias Harris did in the second half? He had 2 points on 0 of 8 shooting. They weren't all guarded one-on-one via Evan Mobley, but with Mobley off Asar, he was on Tobias, and Tobias ate in the first half, and he ate nothing in the second. Going back to what you said earlier, it was a true DPOY level performance from one Evan Mobley.
And if you can get that, and, Jared Allen was blocking shots, if you can get that, dunking on people, like, those are the things where the Cavs, they show you the levels to it, right? But the thing is, like Jason said, they've been coming out these games slow, lethargic, not being able to meet the intensity level coming off just off the tip. But here's the crazy part about this thing. If they can win, the most difficult game, I think, to win is if you've been down 0-2 and you win 2 games on your floor, right? Technically, the series is tied up. Now the other team is going back home. They're going to be playing with reckless abandon. I mean, you're gonna get Jenkins and Collins and these down the liners. Who's this league guy? The guys that just have no name gangsters that will hit shots. Duncan Robinson will get hot and be ready to go at home. So those guys will all play better. You have to weather the storm a little bit because they're going to try to punch you. But I will be super impressed if the Cavs come out here, win 3 in a row, and then win Game 5 on their road, on their court. Yeah. I think this is the hardest thing to do in the playoffs.
It is, no doubt, and we talked about the lack of consistency. But I think the Cavs' depth has shown up, and like I said, Thompson's out. I mean, he's having a bad night, but he just is such an offensive liability. They're in scramble mode. They can't have him on the floor. That takes away their best defender. It's little advantages, I think, that give me the most optimism. We have to see the Cavs win a road playoff game before we believe it. We have to see Mobley and Harden play better for 2, 3, 4 games in a row. I get it, but I think the Cavs' advantages are starting to show up in this series.
I look at Oklahoma City Thunder, and the thing I hate about them, but I have to respect about them, is they win the first 2 games on the road all the time. They win, the first 2 games at home all the time because they're already the number 1
They
seed.
haven't lost in the playoffs. They're 8-0.
And then when they get to Game 3 on your court where you give your best shot, they're like, oh, that was cool. We're going to win that game too. And you're done. It's over.
Yeah.
Like they don't even give you time to even think about coming back to Oklahoma. No, they just get you off the sticks. And these type of games are where your superstar, because I'm gonna tell you this right now. Jared Allen ain't get no calls. Max Strus ain't getting none. Jalen Tyson don't even look at a referee. You're not getting calls. They're not gonna give it to you. So you're going to have to lean on your guys, the big guys, the guys that got the max deals with all the future Hall of Famers. They're gonna have to weather the storm and hit shots, and then they may start to get a few calls in the second half. But this game will be won or lost with either Mobley, Mitchell, or James Harden. In Game 5.
Speaking of SGA real quick, and the Thunder, just while you mentioned them, they're 8-0 in the playoffs. Jalen Williams, who was their second best player on the championship team last year, has barely played in the playoffs. And SGA, who's going to win his second MVP in a row, they were plus 40 in the series with him off. They had a plus 40 net rating in the series.
They are unbelievable. I watched the second half of the game last night.
They're a wagon.
Yeah. The Lakers threw everything they had at them, and the Thunder were like,
they just have they're the most infuriating team to watch. I cannot stand watching them. I think if you're a basketball purist, you love watching them. Like as a fan of another team, I get it, but I don't see how anybody beats them. They're going back to back. Besides all of the blatant flopping, they got Instagram reels for days on these dudes. These dudes be getting hit by Casper the Friendly Ghost. They pass out. They have fake seizures. You would swear up and down. They're worse than soccer players. They are worse than lacrosse. They literally act like the life has been stolen from them.
Yeah. Right.
And then they're like, I mean, he creates contact and then folds his lower body up automatically like a lawn chair. How do you do that?
So it's a team of James Hardens is what you're saying.
Listen, James Harden studies them. he studies what they do to get calls like that.
It's unbelievable the calls Harden gets. I hear you're right. I can't argue what you're saying.
But they're still good though.
They are so talented. They are unbelievable. It's incredible what they've built.
We talked in the first hour a lot more about Donovan Mitchell's historic second half, what James Harden did, how Evan Mobley's contributions allowed the Cavaliers to tie this series up at 2 games apiece as they head into Game 5 on Wednesday night. They got to prove it on the road. I think everything you said, Jason, about not getting over your skis about this team based on a really good performance is valid because they haven't won a game on the road yet this postseason. But I think we've seen, as Zach kind of alluded to, the Cavs have answers to some of Detroit's issues. I'm not sure Detroit has answers to what the Cavaliers do best. And if we see this version of Cleveland on the road, which, to your point, we haven't seen yet, I think this comes back to Cleveland on Friday night with the Cavs having a chance.
Oh, so you picking them, huh? Oh, so
I picked the Cavs in 6 from the get-go. I thought it would be 2-2 after 4. I thought they'd split in Detroit, split in Cleveland. I'm not changing now. I think everything I thought about the series has been pretty accurate. It just hasn't played out exactly how I thought. I just thought at the end of the day, the Cavs have more offensive firepower and have a level that Detroit can't reach. And we saw it in the second half yesterday. We saw it in the first middle part of Game 3 that when the Cavs reach that level, Detroit simply does not have an answer.
I will give it to you. You and Jay argued yesterday, and you talked about how the Cavs have been in all of these games. And statistically, yeah, they've been close, 5 points here or there.
Yeah.
They've even taken the league a couple of times. And if you're Detroit, you have to say to yourself, I don't know if we can play better or more peak than we played right now. And they've been in every single game, and they haven't even played that well. Like, their guys haven't gone crazy. Like, Donovan went crazy the last couple of games, but I mean, Sam Merrill had a bunch of shots, McNuggets, that he just didn't knock down.
Right.
And those were great
Cavs
looks.
didn't shoot great yesterday. Like, they were 14 of 41 from 3, and the game ended up being a 9-point game. We talk about shrinking your rotation down at the end. We saw a 90-minute stretch from Proctor, Ellis, Porter Jr., Tyson, and Bryant, or Tomlin. Tyson wasn't part of that. That was an absolute catastrophe.
Man.
And that's why sometimes you just got to play your starters till the
I
end.
almost ripped my TV off my wall. Listen, it was infuriating. I was sitting there, I'm like, first of all, this is not senior night. This is not senior night, dog. Don't have these dudes pulling off the bench. You guys got guys clapping. All the nice sophomores and the juniors, that's all state. You take them off the bench. You didn't put everybody in for senior night. These dudes steal the inbounds pass. Then they throw the ball in again. They get over half court, they trap them, take it and go down the layup. I'm like, bro, Kenny, you do know you up 8 points with like 59 seconds to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, he had to put them starters back in. Yeah, they're not playing the rest of the playoffs.
One thing I did notice in the first quarter, and this is before Donovan even got hot, his rest was a lot shorter.
Yes.
He was quick out and quick back in, and that's how it's going to have to be the rest of the way.
Man, we'll see what we got going on. It's going to be riveting Game 5 coming up in Detroit. When we come back, we switch gears. We'll get to a little football. Emmanuel McNeil Warren is a Swiss Army knife, but there's a guy on the market that might be available to help solidify this nickel position. We'll come back and talk about it right here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.